Hello, welcome to my video, and I'm going to be making a card, and the base of the card will be my brown paper card, which is A4 size. Let's put it on there. And I'll be decorating it with some doilies. Now these came from Hobbycraft. I've had them a couple of years, so they're probably not in the shops anymore. And there's 4 colours in these packs. There's a green, brown, light blue, and a deep red. Also, I'll also be using these, which are wooden animal embellishments. There are 6 designs, and there's 3 cat designs and 3 dog designs. Now I didn't want to leave them plain like that, so I used some decorative papers out of a book I have, and there are different designs which I've used quite a few of, and using those papers I've decorated some of my animals, as you can see, different ones. And the nice thing about this, you can do them any way you like, putting your papers on. Now basically using the papers, I've glued them on with PVA glue, and the excess paper that was left over I sanded off and got that effect. So I'll show you afterwards what I'll be using. Now the card I folded in half, and I've put an insert in, and basically I've used some notepad paper and decorated the corners with a punch. It's a corner punch, it decorates corners. So using the card, put that down. On top of that, I'm using one of the papers out of my notebook, and on top of that I will be using a red doily. Now on the back of there I've put my double-sided tape, which I always do, and because it comes in a strip, a long strip, I've nipped it so I can go around like that. And the trick for that, which is handy, is when it decides to let me put it off, it comes off pretty much in one go, so it makes it a little bit easier. So I'm going to place that down, and it dropped it in one place. Now, next thing I'm going to put on there is some lacy ribbon, and again put double-sided tape on the back of there, so I will see if it will let me take it off. Now it's a little bit tricky when it's on ribbon, and it's proving me wrong. It doesn't want to come off. Oh yes it does, there you go. So I'll pull that off and gently stick into my fingers. Place that on that paper and turn them over, and on the back I've already put double-sided tape, so remove the backing papers off these. It's always nice to be prepared. Just do these 2 first, and then I can stick the rest of the lacy ribbon down. I could do with longer nails to get these off. There you go. Probably takes the longest time actually, trying to remove paper. And double-sided tape is so handy. Just do that bit there. And then last bit. There we go. So we'll turn that over. And then just to the edges. Now, on the ribbon, I cut using a punch that has the shape of a butterfly on it, and using the same kind of paper, I've punched out a butterfly. Now that actually is bigger than the symbol on there, the picture on there. So you turn it over and just open that bit. That's the actual size. So if you buy these in the shops, this one I got from Hovercraft actually. It is actually bigger when you get it home. But if I just put that on top of it, you don't really see it. It kind of blends in with it. So it'll send out. I got another Doily and cut out the middle bit, drew around my butterfly, and then cut it out slightly bigger, so I get a background like that. So I'm going to take off the backing tape on there, of course. Backing tape, the paper, backing paper, and then fix that. And then because it stands out a bit, and because I use 3D foam, so it stands slightly proud of the paper, of the card, and then just put that over the ribbon, and I'll just raise his wings just slightly, so it's almost a three-dimensional butterfly. Quite pretty. Right, the next item is one of my animals, and I chose the dog. Now when I put the paper on, I held him up to the light so I could see the shape of the wooden embellishment, so I could place like a little flower on his ear and like a rose shaped collar. Now to attach him, I will be using silicone glue. Most of these items I'm using are actually from Hobbycraft. The papers I bought from another shop and I can't remember which one. Oh, I've lost the lid, but I'll get that later. Now the one thing I use that's really handy for applying silicone glue is a cocktail stick, because you can get as much or as little glue as you like. So I've got a generous blob, pick up the blob dog. Now I don't want to spread the glue too thinly, because I want it to stand slightly, you know, three-dimensional. I mean, it's three-dimensional anyway, but it's easier to put thicker glue on, and then you can push it down and it will spread the glue a little bit. Like I say, this bit takes a little bit of time, and I tap it like that because it makes it a little bit spikier, and turn him around a bit so I can hold him the other side. Now see, I put too much on there, so it's easily removed. Now see, I got an extra bit there, so I'll just scoop that off. It's so easy. Now, I haven't really used these embellishments much, these particular ones, but I think they do look nicer when you decorate them. I mean, you could paint them if you wanted to, I suppose. I like that effect with the paper, because I've seen things you can buy ready decorated. It's my phone keeps having messages. So I do apologise for that. And you may hear some background noise of cars, because we live on a busy road, so now just check that. Now I'm going to place that down. There we go. That looks nice. Now, to finish it off,